2023 has come to an end, and we all know what that means. A whole new list of New Year's Eve resolutions. These are wishful statements about kicking old habits, starting new ones, having big dreams, and hoping to accomplish all of these changes by the end of January. As February rolls around, the once full gym has gone back to normal, the diets have ended, the budgeting has stopped, and so have the mindful practices. Well, there's always next year, right? But maybe this could be the year where you actually keep up with a new habit. But the question is, how do you plan for and stick to a new goal or habit? Before I get into this, I want to say, hi, my name is Jen and welcome to my channel, where I talk about all things from tech, career, productivity to wellness. If you are interested in any of these topics, please take a second to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment at the end. We all love a good story. A protagonist who achieves the impossible against all odds. David somehow beats Goliath, which gets repackaged by Hollywood to bring us movies about the underdog winning, like Rocky. While these make for great stories, 2-hour movies don't always do the best job at relaying to the audience about how the underdog actually went through a habit transformation and created goals. Probably because it's not nearly as interesting. We like extremes. We like defying odds. If you wake up and think, I'm going to use willpower alone to make this goal happen, the future of your goal is not looking bright. Maybe you'll be that 1% who defies the odds, but most likely you won't, and next year you'll be making the exact same resolution. The part that is skimmed over in most of these stories is how there needs to be a clear goal and clear steps to achieve it. How much constant effort over a long period of time is needed, and how being fixated on an end result isn't always the best way to tackle a goal. Part 1. Start small. Some problems can feel too large to fix. Pulling on the thread of wanting better financial health might mean getting a new job, learning new skills, budgeting, not spontaneously buying things. But do you want to take a course or switch to a new job? So isn't it easier to just pretend like it's not a problem? Well, it is easier, but that doesn't fix anything. It just adds to the anxiety-inducing list of to-dos that will never get done. Starting small is being aware of how large an issue is, but breaking it down into sizable chunks. To start the impossible task of being healthy, I took one step at a time. Instead of doing everything intensely for a few weeks and expecting results, I very slowly incorporated new habits into my life. It started with eating better, moving more, which turned into boxing and meal prepping. I'm 3 years in on this goal, and now it's turned into a lifestyle change instead of an active goal I'm trying to reach. In case you're wondering, the number 1 New Year's resolution is fitness and health, so I will be coming back to this topic a lot throughout this video. Developing a new habit is uncomfortable, and it's a long-term change. It takes time to try something new, fail at it, try again until it works. Part 2. Endurance matters. Maybe this is the fault of stories, or living in a society consumed by instant gratification, but goals take a long time. There is a term coined by Malcolm Gladwell in the book Outliers. He says, the key to achieving true expertise in any skill is simply a matter of practicing, albeit in the correct way, for at least 10,000 hours. He used the 10,000 hour rule to talk about people like Bill Gates and the Beatles. Why were they so successful and others weren't? It's because of an insane amount of time people put into mastering a skill. 10,000 hours is working 40 hours every week at a skill for a minimum of 5 years. So how do you do this? You need endurance. That means making sure you don't burn out or get discouraged before you start seeing results. Things that can help with this are building a routine, having an identity shift, and making sure your environment supports this behavioral change. A routine makes things more automatic. To pre-plan meals, set aside time to exercise or cook. To shift an identity, James Clear in the book Atomichabits says, become the type of person who can achieve the things you want to achieve. Build identity-based habits now. The results can come later. If you want to be a healthy person, think of yourself that way, and you'll naturally start changing your small behaviors to fit that new identity. Then change your environment. Everyone thinks that highly successful people have amazing willpower, but instead they just limit distractions. Part 3. Work versus play. There's another thing that the underdog movies kind of gets wrong. It's the message that if you want something enough, it will happen. While passion and effort are huge factors in creating a goal, Adam Grant challenges this concept in his book, Hidden Potential. After talking about a music student who realizes there's such thing as over-practicing, Adam writes, "The best way to unlock hidden potential isn't to suffer through the daily grind. It's to transform the daily grind into a source of joy." If you are going to shift your entire identity and commit to a new habit for years, you better enjoy it. What better way to enjoy something than adding an element of play or creativity to it? Think of ways to make your habits fun. I did cooking classes and group boxing lessons as a new way of improving my health. If you always think of a task as horrible and daunting, it will never get better. If you learn to enjoy the process of doing something more than the end result, this will give you the most holistic approach to achieving your goals. So how do you keep your New Year's resolution? To sum all of this up, if I had to pick two things, I would say be willing to commit to a habit change for a really long period of time and find a way to enjoy the process of doing this. To have that final movie moment of defeating your opponent and defying the odds, you will have to put in a significant amount of time and dedicated effort. But it's worth it, because the more you achieve things, the more your capacity and self-confidence increases. Even though all of these things have worked for me, we are all unique and learn differently. And if any other habit changes have worked for you, comment them below. I would love to read them. And while you're at it, write down your New Year's Eve resolutions in the comments below. Mine is to be more consistent in creating YouTube videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.